Have you been thinking that maybe you need to be a trailblazer? Well, I've got 5 of them with me today, so you're going to want to listen up to this episode as we discuss the importance of trailblazers in society. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamic Women Podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host, and today I have 5 amazing authors from our newest Dynamic Women Secrets book called Trailblazer Secrets. So hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. And so today I wanted to bring a bunch of you together to talk about the importance of trailblazers in society, because I feel we need more. And maybe people don't feel like they're a trailblazer. And so we need to also be giving them some ideas on how to be trailblazers and encourage and inspire that next step or next level for them. But before we get into that, I'm just curious from everyone. So here, I'll just run through everybody's names. We've got Paula Kent, Barbara Wallik, Serita Falus, Dana Zarone, and Kimberly Lyall, and me, Diane Rolston. And we first are going to talk about just how do you feel about trailblazers? Someone who blazes a trail. Who's going to kick us off?
I can start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, only because I've recognized that I'm blazing my own trail that's never been, I don't think anybody's doing what I'm doing, like in my life, the way I'm doing it now. And the more we as women who are blazing our own trails doing it, we're giving other women permission to do it as well. And we need more of that in the world. We need to show our communities that we have strong voices, unique talents and gifts. And it doesn't have to be the way we think it has to be. It can be our own unique way of doing things.
Yeah.
So say goodbye to the old ways and hello to the new ways.
Yeah. So you feel that there are many different kinds of trailblazers. And so we'll get to hear more about that today.
Yeah.
Paula, how about you?
Yeah, what Barbara has said just really resonates within me, that the importance of representation. So when I see someone that I admire doing something differently, I just like, yeah, the conformity mindset that's out there, there's only one way to be successful, is shattered with trailblazers. And I think that's super important, and we need to broaden sort of the ways we're doing things. So
yeah, so trailblazers aren't limited to being a certain age, demographic, culture, and really they get to throw the rule book out and make it their own way. Nice. Kimberly, how about you?
I love trailblazers. I feel like my whole life I've always wanted to do things my way, and I've always felt like there's opportunities to do things in a way that nobody else has ever done. And so it's finding that sweet spot of opportunity, right? And we're in such an innovative time in human history right now, where with technology and with the world being connected, there's so many ways we can do things differently. We can solve problems, we can find new solutions. So for me, trailblazing is just being able to be open to opportunity. And the cool thing about it is everyone has the ability to do it. It's looking around you and seeing what opportunity exists and saying, I've got a solution that nobody's tried. Why not do it? It's fun, it's exciting, and it really has great impact on the world.
Yeah, I keep going back to that whole, like, I want to do it my own way. I feel like I was that stubborn child.
Yes.
And still my mom just came to visit. She's 80. And she said to me, it seems like you're really happy doing what you're doing. Would you ever go back and, work for someone else? I was like, no way. Like, and that it's that, Kimberly, it's that I like to do things the way even if it fails, I want to at least try to do that.
Yes.
Dave, how about you?
I just love the concept of trailblazing. I mean, even by definition, it says paving a path, paving the way. And I think it's so important for us women to step up and truly do that, to pave the way for others so that we can be an example of being able to go beyond the status quo, differentiating ourselves from the cookie cutter crowd, and really making a difference and learning to really truly carve our own way and our own path. And I think it really boils down to our power to be a true trailblazer is when you can find your true north. And I love what was said earlier about, not being a conformist and really being able to stand up, step in so you can stand out and live authentically aligned with your true north and follow your heart. Because when you do that, I mean, your energy shifts, your opportunities open up, and you're able to manifest so many amazing things and truly be that role model for others, because it's so important that we're living aligned with who we are, so we're empowered and we can make a difference for ourselves and for all of our clients and the world at large, really.
Love it. So many great things there. So Serita, how about you?
Okay, so I agree with everything everyone said about being a trailblazer, and I think about creativity. It's like we have the opportunity to be creative and just let our inner kid grow out, because we've been held back for so long and doing a lot of things and stepping out into different fields. And there's no limit to what we can do if we just allow ourselves. We have ideas that, nobody's done before. Why not be the next inventor? Why not be the next creator of whatever? Because nobody's done it before. Why not us?
True. I feel like we could just stop here. And I'm so inspired by all these different answers. I feel like I've been in this trailblazer world in the past year as we've been putting out the Trailblazer Secrets book with me, along with 42 other leading entrepreneurs and professionals like the 5 of you. So before we go any further, why don't we take, 30 seconds each, introduce yourself to our listeners. We'll start with Paula.
Thank you, Diane. My name is Paula Kent, and I am a researcher, a social science researcher and a writer. And I live in Mission, British Columbia.
Thank you. Dana.
My name is Dana Zarone, and I live outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And I am an intuitive business coach, and I also have an international publishing company where to date we have 100% success rate in helping hundreds of authors become #1 international bestselling authors.
Awesome. Kimberly.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Lyall, and I live in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. I light up leaders as a speaker, as a consultant, and now as a published author, helping people find their potential and to make positive change in the world.
Wonderful. Serita.
Hi, I'm an author and a certified holistic health coach. And what I do is I help people get healthy without chemicals, and so they can live their best life and be mobile and enjoy life.
Awesome. Barb.
Thanks, Diane. My name's Barbara Wallik, and I show women how to embrace true self-love through mastering the 4 elements of wealth. After 40 years of working in one of the most stressful industries on the planet of finance, I've realized that creating wealth and looking at that is really a true form of self-love.
Nice. I feel like y'all did our little clap there, because not everyone can do a really quick intro. So congratulations, listeners. Take a little note from them and how they were able to just bang that out. Ready. I love it. So good. Well, because it's like that, they call it the elevator pitch. You need to be able to very quickly say who you are. And I feel like that is also part of being a trailblazer, is being able to say, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is my place in the world, at least for right now, right? Because we all have different chapters in our lives, different revolutions or innovations of how we present ourselves. But let's continue on in the path of being in this book. So you were all invited in one way or another to be part of this book. What had you say yes, especially around the topic of being a trailblazer? So what had you say yes to being part of this book? Kimberly.
Well, the name Trailblazer caught me immediately. I just loved it. It felt so aligned to it. And I felt for a long time that I had a book in me, that I've lived through some really amazing experiences as a trailblazer. And so I thought this is a great opportunity for me to learn how to be an author, and working with you and working with everyone else was so inspiring. So just the concept of being part of this Trailblazer project and learning how to share my story really made me excited to be here.
Awesome. Sarita.
Okay, so you gave me opportunity to be a part of an international group or a group of people I'd never met before. So I get to meet all these wonderful ladies and learn from them and share my story on how I transitioned from corporate America into what I'm doing now as a health coach.
Yeah, awesome. How about you, Barb?
Thank you for the opportunity. I said yes because I felt that it was really time, not only for me to stand in my own power as a trailblazer, but to, again, recognize that I am changing the way people view self-care, self-love, and money in a
Yeah.
way that nobody else has ever done. And it needs to be out there. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome. Dana.
I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I just love the collaboration model in and of itself. I mean, it's always so powerful to not only be given an opportunity to share your own message with the world through a book, but also to meet so many other amazing women. I mean, you just learn so much from each other's stories, and some you find you have so much in common with, and others you just have these aha moments, and people just can touch your heart in so many ways. So just being a part of the project is powerful in and of itself, but also the opportunity to continue to share your message with all the readers and inspire them. It's just such a powerful opportunity.
True. Very true. Paula, how about you?
Oh, everything that everybody has said. I think that's going to be a common theme. But, it was really the opportunity to bring my voice, to amplify the voices of all of the authors and, sing as a chorus. And in the chorus, there's the bold but then there's the quiet moments too. So I think it was really the inclusivity of what it is to be a trailblazer that attracted me.
Yeah. Yeah. In a moment, I'm going to have all of you share about what you think the importance of trailblazers are in society, because there's space for more. And before you do that, I just wanted to share that this is now the third in the Dynamic Women Secrets series. So we've had, the first one was Success Secrets. Then we moved into Confidence Secrets. So we've got the Success Secrets is pink and Confidence Secrets is red. And we chose purple for the Trailblazer Secrets. And all three books are available, but the Trailblazer Secrets book is going to be available on February 8th at starting from our book launch party, which is free to attend. It's from 3:30 to 5 o'clock Pacific. We might stay a little bit later for those who want to network. And so in the notes, you're going to be able to click the link, go through and get your ticket for this event where these amazing authors will be there along with 30 plus others. And then also in the show notes, you're going to see everyone's bio. So you're going to learn a little bit more about these 5 authors that I have here today. And so I hope you'll get your copy of the Trailblazer Secrets book. So let's go into this question of the importance of trailblazers in society. We can look at that as a whole or in specific industries or for specific social causes. I want everyone to know that I chose Trailblazer because I feel like there's a lot out there around being a leader. And the word leader sometimes triggers me personally, at least as a value of mine, because I feel like leader creates followers. And the leader is standing there going, follow me and do as I have said. And that is not true for every leader. Of course it's not. But the word trailblazer really spoke to me because I feel like trailblazers blaze the trail, they come back, and then they say, hey, that's where I went. Do you want to go? I can show you. You can see where I've marked it if you want to go alone. I can walk beside you. I can walk behind you. I can walk in front of you. What do you want? And that's where I see trailblazers stepping in. And in the book, I talk more about who is a trailblazer and how can you be a trailblazer. But I want everyone listening right now to be thinking about, where are you a trailblazer? It can be in any area of life. Do you blaze a trail in how you make a pie? for your church bake sale. It doesn't have to be you blaze a trail because you found a cure for an illness. It doesn't have to be that you're the one that created the new AI platform. It can be that you've created a new way of connecting parents with their children. Like that, it can even just be you've said the same thing over and over again, but the style of you teaching it or sharing it is unique to you. And so listeners, please, as you hear more from the authors, I want you to really be thinking about, where is this true for you? Where do you blaze a trail? Or where are you now excited and ready to blaze a trail? Because that could be the inspiration that they're going to give you today. So who wants to kick us off? What's the importance of trailblazers in society?
I will. I honestly think it's just so important, especially now, with so much craziness going on in the world, and with the launch of AI and all these things that are, I think, just getting in the way of our ability to, again, to connect to our true north and really feel authentic. And the world's moving at such a fast pace that it's so important to truly be that trailblazer, extend that olive branch to people, because people are getting lost in the shuffle. Depressions that are at a high rate right now, probably the highest it's ever been. Mental health issues just across the board are becoming a huge epidemic. And so to be able to truly stand in your power and be grounded and pave the way for people who are feeling lost, maybe hopeless and helpless, I think it's so, so critical. So I think holistically, from a global perspective, that's why it's so important. But I also will niche it down even as a mother. So important for, I have 2 girls, and so important to be a trailblazer, to be the role model of, there is no one size fits all to life. And all that it's really important to tap into your true potential and to stay true to who you are, and know that you can be anything and anything you want to be, and that you just set your dreams and follow them, and know that they can come true regardless. You don't have to do it the way society tells you.
Yeah.
It's so important.
True, Dana. Thank you. Thank you for that. Paula, how about you?
Yeah, for myself, I think that the trailblazers of today honor the trailblazers of the past. And, it's a continuum, and as a woman, it's a continuum of leadership and trailblazing and going where no woman had gone before, that has given us these opportunities. And it's it's everything that Dana said, of course, but I like to think back to the past and to understand that, wow, as hard as it is to trailblaze today, it was harder in the past.
Yes.
And that we need to honor the legacy we have been gifted.
So actually, that's a really good point about how we can learn to be a trailblazer, or maybe not be as intimidated by looking back and reading stories of people in the past. Now, I even think of my grandmother in England. Her husband died young. I think my dad was like 8, 9, that sort of thing. And so she's a single woman in England. And that was long, long time ago. She lived to 101. So you can just imagine, she died when I was 16. So she started her own women's clothing boutique. So she was a business owner as a woman, and remarried and ran the business for a while. And then he passed away. So she's raising a child, running a business. And then at 80, she immigrated to Canada, because my father and my mother and left everything, sold everything, left everyone she'd ever known to move here. And I think each of those are trailblazer moments.
Absolutely.
She didn't have Google to search like, what's Canada like, or to be able to connect with people, like all of that. She really was a trailblazer in her own respect. And there's so many in the world. Let's jump over to Serita. What are your thoughts on the importance of trailblazers in society?
Sure, your grandmother was a hoot, I'm telling you. We stand
very proper, always wearing her stockings and her skirts and her heeled shoes and her blouses and slips and jackets and pearls. Oh yeah, she was
Very proper, I'm sure.
very proper. Yes.
Yeah, we stand on the shoulders of those who've gone before us. Just think about the ladies who dared to step out, the women's suffrage and all of that. But when I think about Spanx, who wore a girdle back in the day? It's like, how could you turn that idea into a modern day girdle? It's just amazing. So there's stuff that still needs to be come out of us to be able to bring something to the market that's not been brought before, or reinventing a new mousetrap. There are plenty of mousetraps that we just have to not throw away our ideas, because we'll say somebody should invent that. Somebody should do something about that. What about you? What about me? We can do it. Why should somebody else have the idea that we had? And it's like, oh, I thought about that, blah, but you didn't follow through. So I just think that being in a Trailblazer has much potential, and we will probably never ever exhaust it, but just got to act on what you believe that you can do,
Yeah.
because it's probably needed. Yeah,
And solve society's problems and social issues.
absolutely.
Big spark of inspiration, or can be, for people wanting to blaze a trail.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
agree.
Barb?
Sure.
When I think about it, I've seen such a huge need in society today, on a big scale, and also in our community. And if somebody doesn't, blaze that trail, then they're leaving behind so much opportunity to connect with others, to help others find themselves. For example, I'm in Armstrong in the Okanagan of BC, and I've only been here 2 years, didn't know a soul, had to do a bunch of healing as I moved up here. But recently I just reached out in one of the Facebook communities and said, hey, I'm a woman who doesn't know anybody here. I'm looking for community. That was in November. I have 350 women who have all reached out, who've said, we moved here during COVID, we don't know anybody, or my best friend has passed away, or my husband's passed away, and I'm really craving connection with other women. And had I not done that, I wouldn't have my own community built within 2 months up here, and seen that need. And it's not always paving the path in a new way, but sometimes it's about looking back to what really matters at the core, going back to simplicity, going back to the old ways and making them new again.
Well, and what I'm hearing is you spoke the truth of how you were feeling, which ended up being the truth for so many other people. And it takes more courage for the first person to do it, because there could be judgment, and it's admitting as to how you're feeling, or a lack of positive feelings.
Oh yeah.
And so you really did blaze a trail for that whole group of women. That's amazing.
Yeah, I can feel myself heat up just thinking about it, what it took just to even put the post out there, but I'm so happy that I did.
Yeah. So Trailblazers don't have to be confident. They just have to act.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's that more of a desperate feeling. That's how Dynamic Women started. I felt unseen when I would go to networking events, like I wasn't enough as a coach, and that if they couldn't sell to me, I wasn't worthy. There was this like surface level conversations, and I was laying in bed at night at like 2 a.m. and I was like, screw this. I can either be mad about this, or I can do something about it. And so that's how the Dynamic Women community was built.
And I've got to give you credit, Diane, for actually giving me the inspiration for now when I do hold my network meetings or my meetups or whatever. I think back to those early days when you got us all together and we were able to connect at such a deep level so quickly. It wasn't just a superficial, type of connections. You were definitely you trailblazed then, and you're now helping all us to continue our trailblazer path.
Oh, well, thank you.
Love it.
Yeah.
Kimberly, how about you?
Yes, I think about, as a young person, I grew up in a household where we lived below the poverty line, and we're the recipient of social services. And this feeling of I have so much to give. I want to be someone in the world. What you just said about feeling unseen and this desire to want to have impact. And
Yeah.
so I found my way through a lot of hard work and a lot of putting myself out there. And I have to say, you know, in the last 30 years, I have stood on hundreds of stages as a speaker. I've worked with hundreds of organizations as a consultant. I've never met a person yet who didn't say, I want to leave my mark in this world. Right? Like, I feel like we are all born with so much potential and so much talent that we have to give. And so for me, it's about trailblazing's unlocking that, like you believing that you are worthy and you have the ability to do something that does have impact on the world, that does leave a mark. And we all have that potential. It's just believing it and seeing where the opportunity is. And I often say to people, again, from those stages and in those businesses, that it's far better to lead the change than have to react to it. So for me, it's find what that opportunity is and make something happen, because I think it was Dana that said, you know, there's a lot of problems in this world. I do a lot of work in community social development, dealing with a lot of these really critical challenges and issues that we're dealing with, homelessness and poverty and food insecurity and all these things. And there are solutions out there. But if we keep doing the same thing the same way, we're not going to change anything. We know, people know what the answers are. They just have to step forward and blaze that trail, as you said, Diane, to help us all figure them out and get there together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to wrap up here by having all of you let the listeners know, what is it that you're sharing in the book? Give us the title, give us a little teaser as to what everyone can be reading about when they get the book. Let's start with Serita.
Okay, well, thank you, Diane, so much for offering to let me be a part of this. This is amazing and nice to meet everybody. My part of the book is going to be about transitioning from the corporate world to health. How important is health? Everybody wants wealth, as Barbara says, but if you don't have your health, you can't enjoy that wealth. And so my part, I believe in life now, is to help people know that you can live a quality of life without being on a string of medications. You can live it healthy if you get the right nutrients in your body, because everybody deserves to live healthy. And I want to be the one that helps people.
Yeah, and I know firsthand right now, because I'm sick. You cannot blaze a trail,
right?
If you are not well, right?
That's
Dana,
right. You need
Dana, what's your piece about?
Yeah, my piece is called Shifting from Corporate to My Calling. And it is really kind of a synopsis of my my career. I had 27 years in the corporate world, and how eventually I just decided that really was not my path. I can't blaze my trail, you know, living in a corporate environment, and how I kind of the struggles and the roller coaster ride that I had to go through to eventually carve my own path and find my own place and positioning in my life and be able to help people really leave their legacy. I'm all about leaving legacies.
Awesome. Good. And Kimberly, how about yours?
Yes, and thank you, Diane, for inviting us all and for inviting me to be part of this. It's been fantastic. My piece is called Reclaiming My Power, and it shares a story about a time in my life where I was overcoming a really difficult time, but also having a huge success simultaneously. And I'm a big believer in choices, that we all have choices every day. That's how we take our power back. And I made a choice that was full of fear and scared the heck out of me, but the results of facing that fear and making that choice created an experience that I couldn't have dreamed of ever having. So that's the story I tell, and I hope it inspires others to face their fears.
It definitely will. Yeah. And how about you, Paula?
Yeah, thank you, Diane. And I thank you for letting me be part of this conversation. So important. My piece is titled The Sisterhood of Determination. And I took a step back from a personal story, and I really bubbled up for me was to just capture the essence of what it is that and who and how and all of those pieces of trailblazing. And so I put together a bit of a poem, if you were a word song, a word poem. And that's my contribution to the inclusivity that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Paula edited the pieces in the book. Did a fabulous job. And then so it was my job not to edit Paula's piece, but to review Paula's piece.
Yeah.
And in reading it, I knew that it needed to be actually at the front of all of the pieces. The book you'll find is alphabetical by first name, except Paula's piece is in the beginning because it does feel like a love letter, this poem to the reader and to everyone who gets to come into this journey of being a trailblazer. Let's hear what Barb's piece is about.
Well, was a big surprise to me, and I know it'll probably be a huge surprise to those who know me. I share something extremely and deeply personal that I experienced these last few years, around going from stress to really being truly blessed in my life, and how what the impact is for myself, but sharing how that, just knowing that when others read the story, that they can look at their lives and go, okay, I need to make a decision on doing sometimes what's hard for the greater good of your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
without giving away too much.
Yes,
It's totally what nobody would ever expect me to write about something like that.
Wow. Now everybody's intrigued.
Love it.
I thank all of you for sharing about your pieces. I know that I've read them all and they're all fabulous, along with all the other 42 authors. And what I love the most is no one's coming from ego. They're all really heartfully written with the intent of giving a little bit of a playbook to the reader, to be that inspiration for them to become a trailblazer, maybe the encouragement to keep going, the spark of ideas to make it like, okay, how could I do this in my life? Or here's some tips and tricks in order to make it happen even better. And so I appreciate you all not only being in the book, but being here today to share with the listeners a little bit more about the importance of being a trailblazer. And for you listeners, I hope it's inspired you. Really, in this next year, how are you going to make a difference in the world? How are you going to blaze a trail? So thanks again, everyone.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you so
appreciate it.
much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Nice.
And now is your time, listener, to hit subscribe and share this with a friend, maybe a friend that you already know is blazing a trail and you want to give them a little acknowledgement, or someone that you think could use the tips and tricks and stories that we have shared today. If you also haven't yet, please make sure that you write us a review. And when you do, make sure you take a screenshot and email it over to team@dianerolston.com with your mailing address so we can send you a little something special in the mail. Until next time, stay dynamic. Bye.